Yeah, so this guy comes to town. He was missing his left hand, so he had like one of those three-pronged left hand things. So everybody sees it. So when you met the guy, you just stuck out your right hand, and there was no problem. So after he meets like 10 comics, he then meets Patrice, and Patrice sees the guy, and when he goes to shake his hand, instead of sticking out his right hand, he sticks out his left hand. And then Patrice, with his big, dainty fingers, just grabbed one of the metal tongs and sort of shook it. And all this awkwardness, and then Patrice just goes, "What happened to your hand, man?" And like that's why I loved the name of his last special, Elephant in the Room, because that's what he always did.
What happens when you are the one guy willing to address the elephant in the room? Some people will get angry, some will storm out, some will hate you for it. But for the rest, they will feel this enormous release of tension at one person having the courage to say what everyone was thinking. Before his death in 2011, Patrice O'Neal released the masterful Elephant in the Room, which is still seen as one of the greatest stand-up specials of all time. Featuring deep philosophies on relationships and race, confronting audience members, and his so-called brutal honesty.
The word brutal honesty, I was thinking about that the other day. Like the word brutal honesty is just a dumb term. Like I don't even understand who wants their honesty. Like brutal should be associated with lying.
Okay.
You're a brutal liar.
Right.
As opposed to somebody that just is gonna inform you of what they believe the truth to be.
Right.
And sometimes what is the truth.
For many comedians, the feeling was there was Pryor, Carlin, and soon we were all about to be living in the time of Patrice.
We were all getting ready to have work for Patrice O'Neal. That's basically what was getting ready to happen.
He was figuring it all out right in front of our eyes. He was there, man.
Yeah, I know. When Elephant in the Room came out, I was excited for him, and I was nervous. I was like, is he going to make me look like a child? Because, like, he was that.
I hated him. Just because he died doesn't mean I'm going to switch my story and say he was a great guy.
Okay, so maybe not everyone felt that way. Listening to Patrice O'Neal is definitely an acquired taste, like drinking whiskey or something might be. If you're not ready for it, that first drink can be terrible and bitter. But as time goes on, you learn to enjoy it, and soon it becomes your favorite thing to drink. Compare that to your first time drinking fruit juice, which is instantly pleasurable, but eventually overpowering, and almost sickening if that was all you had every day. Most people are feeding you fruit juice, saying what everyone wants to hear, so when someone like Patrice comes along, we all pay attention, because while his words may have tasted much more bitter, underneath was a deeper level of sophistication. I was recently browsing through a collection of the best advice from Patrice O'Neal. Things like assert yourself but stay humble. Focus on yourself and never let anyone deter you from your happiness. Always take a white baby on a keychain when you go sailing so people will come looking for you. But the one piece of advice I heard over and over again was the idea of being righteous with everything you do. This means if you feel you are even slightly doing something you don't want to do, then don't do it. That doesn't mean quit your job because you don't feel like getting up in the morning. In that case, you are sacrificing temporary pleasure for a reward in the future. What he is saying is never do something that is bad for you, short or long term, just to please somebody else. And above all, say what you really want to say, not what someone wants to hear. If you feel something, it's valid. There's a reason for it. So say it.
To answer your question, what I'm trying to do is be righteous. And when I say righteous, I don't mean God, God righteous. I mean, just when I wake up, I know I was honest to myself. You know what I mean?
What happens if you ignore this advice? Or in Patrice's words, what happens if you fail to live righteously?
Go ahead.
All right. Hey, this is a situation, man. I got this girl pregnant, found out 2 days ago. We've been dating for about 2 years. She's pushing me to get married.
Okay, go ahead. So your thing is you don't want to get married to her?
I'm not ready for marriage, man.
Don't.
Yeah.
It's very simple.
This guy got a girl pregnant, and he was feeling immense pressure to do the right thing and be a good guy by marrying this girl he doesn't want to marry. But you are not doing that girl any favors by marrying her when you don't want to do it. Do not marry her because you feel pressure from her family, your family, or society. There is one reason, and that is because you actually want to do it. If you don't want to do it, don't do it. Period. He believes that if you live dishonestly, you will always suffer.
I'm trying to be honest because I know that I have skeletons. I know that I have issues. I know that I have things in my life that, I always said I know why. I know exactly why Michael Richards and Pee Wee Herman, why their careers suffer, is because they had put themselves out there as these people who were like fun-loving. Right. Their characters
clowns
are just yay.
Yeah.
So when one goes nigger, and the other one is jerking off, he has a kid's show. It's like he was living a lie. And when people expose you for lying, like the Tiger Woods thing, I always thought if he had said this, my wife won't lick my asshole.
Yeah.
I love it licked.
Yeah.
This waitress licks my asshole.
Yeah.
I should be able.
When should he have said that exactly?
As soon as they put him in a corner. When I'm bombing, the worst thing to ever do is try to not bomb. The best thing to do is take everybody to die. Everyone dies. I'm not dying. Yeah. You're going to die with me. Yeah. I'm not going to try to win you back because I notice about people, people are when power corrupts. Yeah. When an audience sees that you're struggling and then you're trying not to struggle and you need them not to struggle, they get worse. They don't get better to try to help you dig yourself. They want to put the dirt on your grave and watch you fail. So I go, guess what? You're going to watch yourself. Everyone's going to f***ing be miserable.
Could this be part of why you're not as popular?
Yes.
Are you here?
Yes. Jen, go ahead, baby.
You.
Oh, I'm sorry. Me? I just think that you're a f***ing asshole.
That's fair enough. Go ahead.
Are you in a relationship, Jen?
As a matter of fact, I've been married for 10 years.
Where's your husband?
He's right here. You want
Put him on the phone, let him talk.
All right.
Right. Back up. I love you.
Thank you. Okay, fair enough.
I've been listening to you forever.
Thank you. I'm sorry about that. Okay, I just thought you was mad at me because your wife was mad at me.
Oh, no, buddy. Okay. No. And what happened is, I told my wife.
If your wife next to you with a fork sticking you in your face.
Yeah. Patrice,
go ahead, man. Go ahead.
Patrice,
go aheid.
You are 90% right.
Okay, go ahead.
90% right.
Fair enough. Go ahead. What's the 10%?
But my wife, like me, is so headstrong. We agree on a lot of things, and she's so strong. Patrice, I love you, man.
Okay.
And my wife, she loves you too.
Okay.
But you know what? She doesn't agree with a lot of what you say.
That's fair.
But we can agree to disagree.
No, you can't.
And God damn it, it's one of those things where you just kind of got to go with the flow.
No.
And that's
now, do you hear yourself? Let me tell you what you're doing, dude. What you're saying in your stomach, you can hear the self-editing that's happening. You're not saying what you want to say. You're saying what you got to say to not have me say fuck you and not have her say fuck you. Let me say something to you.
Look at the difference between these two people. She is able to call in and say exactly what she thinks in 5 seconds, while the guy sits there stammering, taking 10 minutes to say nothing because he is desperately trying to find some way to please both his wife and his hero Patrice. Patrice died 10 years ago, but even then, he saw where things were headed. A society of people who constantly tiptoe and worry about saying the wrong thing to each other. And when we do express frustration, typically it's through passive aggression. What would happen if we all decided to live just a little more like Patrice and actually say what's on our mind? Everything would be out in the open, and we wouldn't have to live constantly pretending to be something other than what we are. This might rub some people the wrong way, but we would also have a lot of people gravitating towards us because the thing about authenticity is it's so rare, so when we see it, we are naturally drawn to it. That is not saying it's the easier road. There will be endless situations where the brutal lie sounds so much better than the righteous truth. But maybe we could find happiness through being honest, and others could find happiness through us being honest with them, especially when honesty is the hard thing to do.